What's up, Guardians? Welcome to Schwille Gaming, where you can stay up to date with Destiny content. It's the third week of Season of the Witch, and I'm coming at you with some fresh lore about our story with Eris Morn's Hive transformation and our conflict with Xivu Arath to resurrect Savathun so we can get through the portal to chase the Witness. Let's get right into it. Our story starts off this week with a conversation with Eris, this time in her hive form. Eris tells us she hears a whisper from the deep that tells her never to cease her demand for vengeance. This voice is obviously the temptation of her new power, once again hinting at Eris giving in to the darkness. Eris assures us she won't give in, but instead she will destroy her hive form in time, along with the rest. She states its power has no hold over her, but she does enjoy the power, as she says it thrills her. Eris then says she feels a change in the cards and that something is coming. Our Guardian is then instructed to go to Savathun's Spire, where throughout this run we learn that Xivu Arath has sent her brood to invade. During this Spire run, we actually get a ton of dialogue between Xivu, Eris, Amaru, and Ikora. Xivu goes on a rant about two ancient civilizations that her brood wiped out, the Ammonites and the Ecumene. She goes on to proclaim that humanity has joined the chorus of our war, pretty much saying that we're next. Ikora chimes in with, "What is she doing?" where Eris replies, "Xivu issues her challenge." Amaru then says that we need to chase Xivu's goons out before they take over. Last week we mentioned how Xivu believes Eris has taken up Oryx's mantle, and here she leans into that more. Xivu directly addresses Eris this time, saying that her acolytes, being us, the Guardians, pay tribute by her brother's law. Xivu Arath is clearly very upset with this idea of Eris taking Oryx's place while we tithe to her. Xivu continues talking about how we killed Oryx and his children and Savathun, to which Eris replies to Xivu that she will fall too, to which Xivu lays the challenge to Eris that her court is war and she will find her there. At the end of the Spire activity, we get more words between Eris and Xivu, more so just trash talking from one side to the other. Xivu Arath is now aware of our plan and has sent her brood to interfere and has laid out her official challenge to Eris. We then get a transmission from Amaru at the helm where he tells us that Xivu's forces getting into the throne world was not part of the plan. He tells us Savathun has been hoarding powerful creatures in the summoning pits for a long time, partially to study, but also to keep them out of Xivu's hands. Amaru says that if Xivu is able to take that extra power for herself, then we're all pretty much dead. Amaru says we need to claim them first. Even though he doesn't like them going to Eris, it's better than them going to Xivu. So this leads us to the Altars of Summoning, where we get a recording from Savathun on the way. Savathun says that when Xivu finds out what we're doing, she'll try to interfere, which works in our favor because the Wrathborn will make good for additional tithes to Eris as we eliminate them. As we begin in the Altars of Summoning, Eris tells us that Xivu has discovered what we are doing and tells us to show Xivu that the sword logic is no longer just the hives to use. Here in the Summoning Pits, we are put to war against a handful of Xivu Arath's brood and generals. Throughout this battle, Eris proclaims that Xivu is no longer the only hive god of strife. She tells us to take these tributes from Xivu, for that they are now hers. The very last part of this battle, Xivu's best general, the Leviathan Eater, arrives. We end up hurting him, but not killing him, at which point he flees, and the battle is over for now. We are then prompted to a transmission in the helm from Ikora, where she is in disbelief about everything happening right now. She states that we're caught between Savathun and Xivu Arath's issues because it's the only way to get what we need, so even by winning and resurrecting Savathun, we lose. Ikora expresses concern for Eris to the possibility that her transformation influences her judgment, and she tells us to be careful not to let the hive take any more from us. The last bit of dialogue we get this week comes in the form of a radio message from Amaru where he plays a recording from Xivu Arath from about 1,000,000 years ago when she wiped out the ancient civilizations we talked about earlier. Amaru tells us that these civilizations also had the Traveler in their own golden age that made ours look weak. He goes on to reiterate that they aren't around anymore because Xivu wiped them out, and we're apparently next. So to wrap all of this up, shit has literally hit the fan. Xivu Arath has found out what we are doing with Eris in the throne world, and she is not happy about it. She sends her brood to invade and interfere in our plans and lays out her challenge to go head to head and brood to brood with Eris Morn. So yeah, things are very serious right now, but it looks like we're going to have to wait till next week to see what develops of this. My guess is that sooner or later this season we will finally see Xivu Arath. And what of Eris and these whispers of temptation? Will she be able to resist them forever? We have lore about the dark future which takes place in a different timeline where Eris does become evil. In our timeline, Eris repeatedly assures us that the power has no hold over her. But why does this keep getting brought up in our current story? I suppose time will tell. But that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.